Now, if you would have said to anyone in my school that Camille was going to be a millionaire, they would laugh and say he was the dumbest one in the year, so how would that even be possible? Now, that brings me onto the topic of there are people dumber than you making millions and even billions in the world. So when I say dumber, I mean purely based off what the education system says, who is smart and who is dumb. Those that get really good grades, go to really good universities, are quote unquote smart, and those that don't are quote unquote dumb. Now, before we carry on with today's video, guys, if you could just smash that like button, it would help support the channel. This is a brand new channel, so it needs your support. So all you got to do is like the video, interact with it. Now, would you be surprised if I told you that the smartest people in the world actually work for the dumbest people? Now, if you look at some billionaires, some millionaires, the smart people work for them. People like myself that suffer from dyslexia and ADHD, we like to think outside the box. We problem solve a lot different to most people. So if you're watching this video and you acquire the next following skills or habits that I'm about to say, then you can also become a millionaire. And remember, people dumber than you, like myself, are one of those people that are making millions that are not as smart as you. Now, we live in a world where people are getting lazier and lazier and lazier because they're letting computers, AI do the work for them. It doesn't mean the work's good, it just means the work gets done. So if you're watching this video and you want to be successful or a millionaire, the first principle and understanding that you need to have is you deserve the right to have that success no matter what people say, whether it be friends, families, teachers, schools saying you don't deserve it because you don't have the grades for it, you don't have the education for it, so how are you meant to obtain that type of success? Now, if I grew up letting people like that tell me that I wasn't allowed to be successful, I wouldn't be here today. So the biggest thing that you have to understand is conviction and having the right to being successful. As long as you know that you're allowed to be successful, no matter the circumstances, then eventually you will be successful. The problem with most people today is once people tell them they can't do something because of something, they will naturally tell themselves every single day, and their brain will literally stop them. Now, an example is you might not even be ill or suffer from any health conditions, but if you tell yourself that you feel like you're having a heart attack or you're having a stroke, eventually your brain will fool you into thinking that you're ill or you have some form of health condition because your brain can manipulate you very easily. Now, the unfortunate truth is the smartest people in the world, or people smarter than you, they don't adopt this mindset of conviction and having what they deserve. They are basically robots that live life on, I will do as I'm told, I will do this, I will live within what I'm told to do. They don't develop that entrepreneurial conviction mindset. The entrepreneurial people actually question things and then go down a rabbit hole of, why am I being told this? Why am I being told that? Can I do things the opposite way? Now, the second skill or habit that you need to adopt to make more money than the smarter people in the world is having an attention span longer than 30 seconds. Now, we live in a world where people can't pay attention for even 5 to 10 seconds because they're scrolling through their TikTok, they're looking at the next video. So if you can adopt a really good attention span, that will correlate to your learning. Now, of course, you can't be a millionaire without skills. Now, skills doesn't mean you need education for that. Like, I need a degree, I need this, I need that. If you want to become a millionaire because you're amazing at selling products online, you need to learn marketing, you need to learn copywriting. Now, you can learn those skills freely online for free, but to learn those skills, guess what? You need a good attention span. If you can't pay attention to what somebody's teaching you, then you're not going to acquire the skills to make that money. Now, whether or not you like Conor McGregor or not, me personally, I have mixed opinions, but one thing I give this guy a lot of credit for is if you look at him early on in his journey, even in some of his early interviews, he kept telling people that he would be a UFC champion. He kept telling people that he would be the best of the best. And even that was him at his lowest moments, just starting to make a little bit of money fighting, nothing special. And he had that mindset throughout his whole journey. He was literally just some kid fighting for fun. And then he became the UFC champion because he brainwashed himself in saying he would eventually become that person, even if technically he didn't deserve it based on what others thought. If you ask a smart person to start a business, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to start a business. That's risk. That's something that I don't want to do. If you ask a dumb person, do you want to start a business? They would probably say yes. Now remember, overly educated people can suffer from success because they overanalyze everything. So let's say you start a business, you try and get out, they might overanalyze everything they're doing, which then stops them from finding success because they're overlooking things way too much. Now, if you look at some of the richest people in the world, they suffer from learning disabilities, dyslexia, poorly graded at school. Again, if you look into some of the billionaires and millionaires, they all suffer from some of these conditions. But if you look at in their organization, they have people smarter than them working for them. For example, myself, I am not a one-man army in my business, but I have people in my business that are way smarter than me, but they don't know how to work for themselves or start a business. They are just good at doing the task they are told to do. And guess what? They don't care. They're happy to do that task because they enjoy doing it and they know that that's what they're happy to do. Some humans aren't okay with taking on risk. They're not okay taking on things that they're not used to. So the people that are typically dumber are willing to do it because they have nothing to lose. For example, myself at school, I left without any grades, any experience, nothing. So if I wanted to work a job, I'd get minimum wage and a little bit more at best. So it was either I start a business and make money, or I just work at minimum wage my whole life. There is literally no more worse I can get. So typically dumber people know they've got less to lose, so they are willing just to go for it. Whilst the smarter people, they know that they have this education, they have these grades, they have this experience, they can get good jobs, so they don't think about the alternative. They're not thinking about how much worse can it get because they have plenty of opportunities and alternatives that they can go towards. I'm going to be honest with you guys, if I had really good grades and a really good amount of experience, I might have not even started a business. I might have just carried on with a really good career and tried to progress through it. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not bashing anyone that has a 9-to-5, works a job, happy at working a job. I'm just saying that if you want to become super rich and super wealthy, you don't need to be smart to do it. And I have such a passion about this topic because I was told every single day at school and after school that I wouldn't be able to become successful and a millionaire because I wasn't smart enough. Now, I'm also not saying that there are rich people that are not smart. There are plenty of people that are super rich and they're also smart. But I'm saying that you've got to look at it from the other side as well, of those that are not technically smart, but also very rich. Especially as things develop every single year on, the younger guys are now outperforming the older guys when it comes to wealth. Honestly, you don't need to be that smart in today's age to make a lot of money. You just need to be able to work hard, have conviction, and willing to have a better attention span than most people today. I'm super interested to see what you guys think of this topic today. What are your thoughts and opinions of it? Let me know in the comment section below. It is super important.